this is EckhartsLadder. Hello and welcome to what I hope will be a very interesting Star Wars Legends lore video. Today's video is once again sponsored by Audible. Go to audibletrial.com/EckhartsLadder to get a free 1 month of Audible, including a free audiobook. I may have accidentally given you guys the wrong URL yesterday. It's audibletrial.com/EckhartsLadder, not audible.com/EckhartsLadder. So I'm sorry about that. Anyway, for today's video, we're digging very deep into Star Wars Legends lore to try to find perhaps the root or the origin of a new speeder set to show up in The Last Jedi. So in researching a future top 5 video, which should be coming out very soon, I stumbled across something which immediately caught my eye. The first trailer for The Last Jedi and subsequent marketing has shown us the Resistance new speeders. Given the distinct blade shape of these ships, along with the fact that they've got canopies and cockpits at one end, they look very much like a repurposed Bwing. Now, I'm not saying for sure that this is the case, but it wouldn't be the first time that the Resistance had repurposed some of their starships. It wouldn't even be the first time that they've repurposed Bwings. The Resistance transport ship that we see in The Force Awakens, for example, is made largely out of parts scavenged from Bwing Mark IIs. This extends to other ships, including the Starhawk capital ships, which were made out of captured Imperial Star Destroyers. Is the new ski speeder for sure a repurposed Bwing? I don't think we can say that, but the possibility is there. The cockpit and the canopy admittedly don't match the ones that we see on the Resistance transport, but it's very possible that they were taken from different Bwing models, including the original Bwing or a modification of the original ship, or perhaps even a Mark III. The cockpit seems to be similar in size to the one-person Bwing variant. The only real difference is that the canopy has an extra pane to it, but that could be because of any sort of modifications. Admittedly, the Star Wars databank does say that the design for this speeder predated the Rebel Alliance. However, that could refer to the way it stabilizes itself with that fin, or even if the design itself does, and these ships in particular do predate the Rebel Alliance, that doesn't necessarily matter. What this video is about is a Star Wars Legends vehicle that in my mind is very similar to the Resistance airspeeder, and which may have actually directly influenced its creation. So this speeder is deep into Star Wars Legends. It appears only once in a magazine called Challenge, which was an old role-playing game magazine which would help you create your own adventures and was really quite cool. I had to dig very deep to find an actual copy of this, and I feel lucky that I was able to do so. Challenge often contains stories or ideas to use in the West End Star Wars role-playing game. Challenge number 47 had an article on the Rebellion's Air Force, and this is kind of unique because air vehicles, and I don't mean vehicles that can fly in space, I mean ones meant for the atmosphere, aren't super prominent, especially militarily in the Star Wars universe. In this article by Whitney Weston, we learn of 2 new vehicles. The one that I'm going to focus on today is the Walker Buster Heavy Assault Airspeeder. It's said that this vehicle was created after the Battle of Hoth, when the Rebel Alliance realized that they didn't really have anything to counter the ground vehicles of the Empire. Specifically, to counteract that vulnerability, the Alliance created the Walker Buster. So this vehicle is designed specifically to combat Imperial AT-ATs. I mean, perhaps that's obvious with the nickname Walker Buster, but this is the first similarity to the Resistance speeder. We've only seen that ship once, and it was flying towards First Order walkers. It could very well be that that ship was also designed specifically to take down larger ground-based vehicles. Secondly, we have the design. Although perhaps the one image we have of the ship doesn't well convey how it's created, it's actually a disassembled Bwing. Much like the Resistance speeder, it's very flat. It uses a Bwing style module, or in this case an actual Bwing module, to control the ship, and the rest of the vehicle is essentially one flat airfoil. Again, the similarities are quite obvious. The combat airspeeder can also move very quickly, but is not maneuverable whatsoever, and it also has difficulty achieving lift. Often ships in the Star Wars universe solely use repulsor lifts. However, because of the sheer weight of the combat airspeeder, it's not possible to achieve actual flight without it being very aerodynamic. There's some similarities there with how, so far at least, we've only seen the Resistance speeder operate in a straight line, and based on the fact that it seems to rely on that strut or on that fin that's attached to the ground, this may be something similar on the Resistance side. Speaking of struts and fins, the Resistance Speeder doesn't have any of those. It does, however, have a large airfoil, which helps it with its operation. Clearly there are some similarities here. Whether the designs are meant to be similar, whether it's a coincidence, I can't say for sure. What I can say is that this is interesting, at least to me. If the two designs are connected, what does that mean for the Resistance Speeder? Well, it's most likely very well armed with some advanced weaponry, and we may actually see it take flight at some point. We're led to believe so far that it will only operate on the ground or at a brief hover. It would be pretty cool and very surprising if we found out mid-battle that after achieving enough speed, it actually could fly. What do you guys think? Is this connection possible? Is it just a mere coincidence? This is a fairly obscure Star Wars Legends source. However, I'm sure Pablo Hidalgo or Leland Chee or someone else with the ears of the filmmakers could have brought it up to their attention. Let me know whether you think it's a connection or a coincidence by voting in the upper right hand corner. Also, take the discussion down to the comment section and let me know what you thought of this video. I hope whether the connection is real or not, that you guys at least enjoyed it. I was very lucky to stumble across this piece of research. Anyway, don't forget, if you want to support the channel, you can visit patreon.com/EckhartsLadder or sign up for a free audiobook at audibletrial.com/EckhartsLadder. Link for both of those in the description. Thank you guys so much for watching. As always, this has been EckhartsLadder. May the Force be with you.